Welcome back to Character Select. Dave and Savin back for more Pillars of Eternity. And while it has been a mere 2 to 3 days for you, dear viewer, for us it has been a mere 2 to 3 fucking months since we've last played this game.
Yep, we did all of Resident Evil 1 between then and now.
Yep, it's true. We have figured out where we are, so we're not completely lost. Why is Adair wounded?
Because I believe when we last left off, we did the drug den mission. So you should probably go take a nap.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well met, friend.
Can I get a room? Let's stay... Ooh, some of these are really nice. Huh. That's not bad. That's pretty good. That's kind of okay. I'm gonna go
I
with
usually do Vixen's Burrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Not just because it's called the Vixen's Burrow. I'll tell you that. All of these people are just Patreon or Kickstarter supporters.
Yep.
Okay.
And I wish there was a game like this on Patreon. You get like monthly updates for infinite content.
See, that's why I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 yet. Because I don't want to get to the end of it and be like, oh, but I want to keep going. It's very frustrating to me to not be able to see something through to the end when I really want to. Which is hilarious because I usually don't really want to. Anyway, so here we are in Copper Lane. Pernisk's house is where we were. Marketplace, World Map, Lumdala's house, Scrivener's dormitory, First Fires. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is quite an interesting name. Admeth's Den Exhibition Hall. The Catacombs. I hope that's a bar. That's a great name for a bar, actually.
that is, actually.
Nope. So we have a couple of quests here. One is to find the Leaden Key in the city of Defiance, never far from the Queen. Which could be at the temple in Wotica, or a temple to Wotica. And we also have to get Adair to the records archive. And the archive in the Dukel Palace. Probably ain't gonna end well. So let's go to First Fires, because it seems like that's likely to lead towards the center of government. Right?
Yep.
How do I fast speed again?
I believe in this game it is D.
Nah.
It always trips me up because in Pillars 2 it's F.
Oh, of course. Consistency? Why?
Well, in Pillars 2 you can actually move the camera with WASD.
That would be helpful, yeah.
It is an improvement.
Okay.
Then in Tyranny they made it like the plus and minus numpad keys or some dumb shit.
I think I've actually been to this city in previous playthroughs, but I've never actually gotten any further than this. Interesting.
Big old tower, big old statue. Hey, if you recognize that statue, it's of Durance's goddess, Magran.
Does he have anything
They like
to
her here.
I guess he doesn't. Alright.
Not out here. If you take him into the actual government building, yeah.
The Dukel Palace.
The Dukel Palace. Also, there's an embassy.
The Valiant Embassy.
Valiant Embassy.
Valiant Embassy. There's the temple. It's seen better fucking days. Crucible Keep. Brackenbury. Heritage Hill. So, the saying it's centuries old fires, wasn't there something that we saw in Watcher's Keep about people that set fire to an entire place?
Yeah, so there was a big war between the colonists and the natives in the past.
And a shrine to Magran as well. Her clergy belongs there.
Yeah, so the colonists and the natives had a big old war, and eventually the colonists just burned the whole forest down and said, fuck you guys.
Have you ever heard of the cleansing power of gasoline? No? Apply match. Now you have.
Basically that, but gunpowder.
Sidley.
Greetings.
The young woman wears a simple but well-tailored uniform. She watches the comings and goings around her with quiet attention. Any news to share, or are you just here to see the Dukel Palace?
What goes on in here?
Where to start? We've got meetings, public hearings, and ceremonies, and that's just the stuff that happens out in the open. This is where the Duke and his key advisors work, so there's always someone bartering for a favor. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to talk about that side of things.
Graft!
But if you want the official version, we have a shrine devoted to Magran, official records, a chamber for public hearings, and council meetings.
What kind of records are stored here?
Mostly dull official stuff, census counts, tax records, militia registers. Now I keep my distance. I got curious one day and got drafted into reshelving half of the records. Worst day of my life.
Tell me about the Shrine of Magran. Magran.
It's
sorry.
a symbol of Magran's protection of Defiance Bay. She's represented the revolutionary spirit of the Deerwood ever since independence, and her involvement in creating the Godhammer bomb only affirmed her importance to us.
Is that the thing that blew up the guy that said he was a god?
Yeah, that blew up Aethys in the guise of Widewind.
Awesome name. I want to name a metal band Godhammer Bomb.
Actually, just Godhammer is a
Godhammer would be
name
pretty
for
good
metal
too, but then everybody would be like, well, you're Viking metal, right? And I'd be like, no, we're not. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you're just a Thor band. Come on. There's also where they keep the... That's also where the first of the sacred fires burn, but Firga, the tranquil ardent, had some trouble keeping them lit.
I don't
Being's
think
hard.
that's really the first of the sacred fires, then. It's a new fire. Is there a hearing going on right now?
Sure is. Duke Aver's been meeting with some of the city leaders for weeks now, trying to figure out how to address the legacy. The whole business is terribly secret, though. I tried to sit in the gallery during my lunch break one day and got turned away. But a lot of the talk concerns Animancy, so there's good reason they're keeping the meetings behind closed doors.
Why is Animancy so controversial?
Oh, where to begin? Traditionalists think it's a crime against the gods. There's no question that poking around the soul is risky, but the more progressive elements believe it's our only shot at restoring healthy births. And it doesn't help matters that Animancy research often involves old Ingwithan relics that were illegally looted from the ruins in Erglanfath.
So, wait. The legacy isn't just affecting Deerwood, it's affecting everything?
Well, Erglanfath is part of Deerwood.
Okay. Sorry, Gilded Vale. I thought it was just Gilded Vale.
Oh, no, it is affecting all of Deerwood.
Okay. So what do you think about Animancy?
Me? I think the real danger of Animancy is confusing a real scholar with an expensive fake. We get a new case here every day, some poor couple in the Gift or Copper Lane who spent every copper they had on a miracle cure for their unborn child. Never works. Breaks your heart, but there's usually nothing we can do for them.
I see.
Anyway, the legacy is what the politicians have all been whispering about lately.
Alright. Who are you?
I'm a page here at the palace. I deliver messages and run errands for the Duke and his advisors. Pay's not great, but I can't think of a better introduction to politics.
Ah, so you're a congressional associate.
Yeah, basically.
Tell me about the current Duke.
That would be Avar Wolfgren. Don't let the title fool you, though. Our dukes have been elected since independence. Some find Duke Avar rather coarse. He's a frontier noble. Personally, I think a rough and tumble type is just what Defiance Bay needs.
Goodbye. So, what you're telling me is that this is all the Deerwood?
Yes, the world map, quote-unquote, is just the Deerwood.
Okay. Is the legacy happening outside the Deerwood, or do we not know?
The introduction makes it appear that it is just contained to the Deerwood.
Okay. Alright, so...
At least your character did not know anything about it before arriving here.
That's true. So this guy looks like he's blocking that place, which looks like a meeting room, so probably not
you cannot
getting
go
in
into the big conference going on.
That's thievening. Let's not thieving just yet. Ooh, that's the Shrine of Magran. Magran! God damn it, why do I keep saying it wrong?
Hello.
The woman's head is bowed and her lips move in prayer. Just as you approach, you catch her glimpsing at the statue near her. She notices you and forces a smile. Praise be to Magran, and welcome to her temple. How may I be of service?
You seem upset. What's wrong?
This is about the fires, isn't it? She puts a hand on your shoulder. They're just symbols. You can't put your faith in.
Only symbols. Is that why you're so distressed?
No, I just... I've kept them burning steadily for 15 years, but I haven't been able to conjure them for months now, and people need to see them more than ever these days.
So go light them again. I see plenty of flames here.
They don't work that way. They're holy fires. It's my devotions and prayers that keep them lit. But lately, when I try to pray, all I can think about are the hollow-born children all over the city, the grieving families, the refugees. How could Magran allow us to suffer like this? What strength do we gain from a soulless child? Durrance grunts with disdain. What strength do we gain from adversity, from trial and test? The fires don't wither because she lacks in faith. They wither because she does not understand how to be faithful to a whore. A whore wants neither praise nor devotion. A whore wants to be compensated for her services, and Magran is paid and pleasured in sweat and struggle and pain. This mewling imbecile is unworthy of Magran's womanly heart. Heat.
I'm sorry, that says heat.
It
Her
does.
womanly heat.
That's even worse. Terrence is such a nice guy. Love him.
I love that the stoic answer is just, huh? Take heart. Don't abandon your faith too easily.
She nods hopefully and her hands clasp together. You're right. And fortunately, I believe Magran has been speaking to me again. Lately, I've been seeing visions, a place in the wilderness with pools filled with sunbursts of color, strange falls that seem to rise to the heavens even while they splash into the earth. She raises her hands as if framing an image of her vision. And behind the falls is a cave, filled with fire and heat and danger, and some token of my goddess.
Okay, so that's a place that we haven't seen yet.
I know there's something there, but where it is or how I'd get there... I mean to ask around at the expedition hall to see if anyone recognizes the description. To be honest, though, I don't know what I'd do even if I found the place. Worthless, like so many of Magran's flock, afraid of her god's tests. If Magran speaks to her, it's to hasten an end to a hypocrite's life, and this vision is surely a death trap for the weak.
I'm not weak. Alright, goodbye. Cinders of Faith.
Stone figure of a warrior gazes towards her raised hand. It's empty. Womp. But the palm and fingers are blackened.
Alright. Well, that's interesting. Also, new quest found. That's stealing. You can't just leave a chest out like that, guys. Come on. That looks Dukel-y. Dukel.
No, that looks archivy.
Ooh, these are some shitty fucking records, dude. Get some better goddamn records.
Wow, rude!
Look, you want the records for an entire dukedom? That better fill a room, not 2 bookshelves and a wine rack. That might be a scroll rack now that I think about it. It still should be more.
Good day, stranger.
A taciturn man with graying hair pores over a tome he's just withdrawn from one of the shelves. He glances up at you with baggy eyes. Yes, is there something I can pull for you?
I'm looking for militia records from the time of the Saints War. I'm trying to find out what happened to someone.
We've had a number of inquiries about such information. I'm afraid we've had to bar access to the public. Seems there are still quite a number of folk in Deerwood who bear ill will towards brave Sarens. It would be irresponsible to surrender their names to just anyone. Many came to settle here as refugees. Perhaps if you were more established in Defiance Bay, things would be different. But I have no reason to suspect you to be any different from the others.
We've come a long way.
I just need to find out about my brother. I don't even know what side he fought for. You must understand, I've heard many such stories. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do for you.
So, in order for us to get access to the records, we have to build our reputation in Defiance Bay. Gotcha. Which, our reputation
Or
right
get
now...
more might.
That's what I want. I don't want to threaten people if I can help it. Character.
Just need 2 more points.
Neutral.
Probably get that from our resting bonus.
So we're neutral in Defiance Bay, although I think we did do something... We did get a bit of a reputation bonus for the way we handled that drug den by murdering everybody that one time.
Yeah. I mean, I like people who go and shut down drug dens.
Hey, how's it going? Stab, no drugs.
Sagani, does your fox bite?
Yes.
Can I pet him anyway?
It's your hand.
I'm gonna pet him.
God, if that followed up with just ow, that would be awesome.
No, the next time they have a chat together, it's even better.
Alright, so there's an embassy here, but that's not really helpful to us right now. I guess... Oh, we gotta go to the Temple of Ortica. What am I doing?
Oh, this should be
I
our
mean, if
Church
you
of Woodica. Dear Woodens. Probably the first thing we burned during the Revolution.
Praise to the exiled queen. May her crown be restored and her justice prevail.
Ever far from the
Come
Queen.
to pay your respects to the queen that was.
A ghost hovers in the middle of the ruin, reciting blessings and prayers. Even as the spirit's form shifts and swirls, it retains the face of an elderly man in robes that mark wealth and status. It turns to you.
Who are you?
Lord Ardwellen Rugfold III.
That's a
and I'm
name.
pleased to make your acquaintance. I came to the Deerwood on one of the first ships from Adia. And unlike the yokels and hut dwellers around here, I still keep to the old ways.
I'm sure.
It's truly a pity to see what the locals have done to Woedica's house of worship.
I was told I'd find the Temple of Ortica here.
And so you did. These savage colonists may have burned it down, but worship of the Oathbinder is alive and well. These stairs lead to the main sanctum.
What stairs?
These stairs, of course. The sanctum was always below ground, adjacent to the catacombs, so it wasn't destroyed by the fires.
Tell me where I'd find an entrance to these catacombs.
There are various entrances throughout Defiance Bay, but I dare say the easiest to reach is in Copper Lane. I haven't been to that part of town in ages, but as I recall, it's somewhere near the southern gate.
What are you doing?
Worshipping Woodica, the exiled queen and oathbinder. I come every day to offer my devotion. I'd love nothing more than to book passage back to Adia, but it is my emperor's wish that I serve in these barbaric lands. And so I do.
I'd just like to point out that the title of Exiled Queen and Oathbinder seems contradictory.
I don't see why.
She binds people to her oaths, but was exiled. Which means that she can't serve her oath to be queen. I don't know, it seems weird to me, but it's also a fucking
that's
badass
by her
title.
choice.
True. It's also a fucking badass title, and I want to know more.
Desire
a
to know
queen
more
among
intensifies.
the gods. She oversees laws and oaths. Everything has a rightful place, and Woodica watches over them all. Of course, not everyone accepts this. Even among the other gods, her authority is questioned. But Woodica is also goddess of memory and vengeance, and she remembers. She'll remember every slight and trespass when she reclaims her throne.
Goddess of Memory. So if we're seeing past images, isn't that kind of like seeing memories?
Maybe.
Huh. You know that you're a ghost, right?
I beg your pardon? Is this some sort of joke where you come from?
I'm serious. Just look at yourself.
A madhouse. That's what this town really needs.
All right, see you, buddy.
Ironically, they actually did build a madhouse in this town. You alright? Looked like you'd almost lost your footing for a minute.
Feels that way when I see into the ether.
You really are a watcher, aren't you? Once in a great many generations, one of my people is born with the ability to speak to souls. Usually, such individuals become elders, or a lone set of tracks in the snow. I would have thought my journey would be easier if I could see what you see, but looking at you, I'm not so sure.
Neither am I.
Believe it or not, I once would have rejoiced to know I'd be picked to travel far in search of something great. Even these gifts come with a cost, don't they? Forgive me if I was a little skeptical of your abilities before. I can't say I've met a real watcher before. Oh, don't worry about her. She just likes doing that from time to time. Seems to cheer her up, so I just let her. Once you've seen it a few times, the shock wears off. Every time she goes a little strange in the face, I try and see if I can hear anything. It hasn't worked so far. See if you can get her to tell you what the spirit said.
Endurance is just like, I ain't adding anything to this conversation. Fuck you. Wait, we collected taxes?
Ah, yes, your domain has acquired monies for you.
We're still building the eastern... No. We are... A Glenfathen Soul Hunter has arrived seeking employment. We're building the main keep. That's what's happening right now. And we can't do anything here because we have to build the barracks. So... The barracks need 2,000 CP in 2 days. We're building the main keep because that blocks a lot of stuff. That'll be done in 22 hours, and then we can build the barracks. Because the main keep will increase this by 3 and this by 4. So we'll be at 8 and 6, and then the barracks will get us to 8 and 9. And then we'll be protecting all of our shit. Yay!
Yay!
Alright, so he said the easiest way to go is Copper Lane. I'm going to actually kind of wander around and take a look at these other places and see if there's anything good there.
Hell
Why
yeah.
not?
Actually, hold on. Bring your map back up. I'd go to Andra's Gift first.
Andra's Gift, eh?
Yeah, there's something cool over there I want you to get your hands on.
I do like cool things.
Do you like birds, Dave? Specifically, birds of a murderous variety?
Pros?
Thinking more like ravens or maybe even a hawk.
Sure.
Cool. Murder birds are good.
A call for
Yeah, just-
interested patrons. Dude, at the end of every single episode, buddy. Competent, proven men and women towards the profitable venture of each... Oh, he's just fucking recruiting. Or he's selling, I should say. The trading company, a ramshackle house, the Salty Mast. Great name for a bar.
That's the brothel.
Ada's house. Coalfish house, abandoned house.
Coalfish.
The lighthouse. Interesting. Looks like everything here is ramshackle. Is this like the slums?
Yeah, basically. It's the wharf.
The docks area. Every docks area in a D&D game is required to be overrun with thievery. Absolutely required. Like... Alright, where am I going?
Just have a wander.
God's
Oh,
damn that
gee-
son
oh.
of a cool.
The angry woman clenches her jaw and stares out towards the harbor with glimmering golden eyes. Eventually, sensing your presence, she turns her feathered head towards you.
Want to run a down on its luck Valiant Trading Company? If you have more than half a brain, you could really do something with it.
She
Well,
clenches her jaw and continues quietly.
half of my brain was burned out by some strange ritual, so now I'm seeing ghosts, but I can probably still try.
As long as you're willing to clean up a few bloodstains.
Enough silver and gold, you'd be surprised how well you can clean up just about anything.
True enough. Verzano's just lucky no one's trying to pay him in steel these days. Sooner or later, his luck will run out.
The woman looks back at the warehouse for a moment and grimaces. After a slight nod in your direction, she storms off. That seems worth investigating.
Yeah, I mean, we're here. Where did she storm off to?
I mean, you should check out the trading company.
Pillars of Eternity has been localized in several languages. Can I just go off on a mild tangent here and say that I think that translating games into other languages is probably one of the best things ever?
And probably one of the hardest.
True, because you got to get all the colloquialisms and all the stuff.
Mechanicals, and you have to translate all the made-up bullshit.
Yeah. And yet, when a big game or even a lot of smaller games comes out on Steam, you'll see updates for freaking months where they're like, hey, we've added simplified Chinese, we've added Korean, we've added French and Spanish and German and Latin, because who doesn't want to speak a dead language, you know? It's awesome. I think it's great. Making games more accessible to people is fantastic. Anyway, what's up?
Well met, friend.
A young woman stands behind the counter, watching with quick, intelligent eyes. Welcome. This is your first visit to the Valiant Trading Company, is it not? Please, let me know how I can assist you.
What is this place?
The Valiant Trading Company is an association of merchants from the Valiant Republics. We oversee trade deals and negotiations on behalf of our merchants. This is our warehouse, where we store goods in transit.
Cartel, gotcha. Who are
You
you?
have more business to discuss. I am the assistant manager of this warehouse. Currently, I help Verzano run things, but I'll take over when he retires, or when the company bosses back home decide it's time for new management. She rolls her eyes.
See ya. Just gonna quick save, because I feel like bad shit's gonna happen soon.
Maybe.
Come on.
Esteemed Maester Verzana, while your ambitions would dignify any son of the Republic, your methods do not. The Dukes have asked once that you see to the business interests of all the republics. They are not given to asking twice.
Interesting.
A shipping manifest listing the cargo of the Principe Me Camiana, 400 sharkskins from Rawatai, 20 blades of blackwood from the Living Lands, and 6 dozen barrels of Adira ale.
That's not nearly enough ale, Savin. Oh, I
No.
should have gotten a beer before we started. Damn it.
Bundled navigational charts and nautical maps. I have mead.
Oh, delicious.
It is.
That's a
It's
lot
also why I
of
can't read. I'm gonna tell myself, which is really just because I can't read. Mr. Verzano, a man stands in the corner of the warehouse directing traffic. Gems wink from the many rings on his fingers as he points and waves at the laborers. His silk clothes, though finely embroidered, aren't new. You notice a couple mended seams around the shoulders and a discreet patch on one elbow.
So, this guy's an asshole, right?
Mm.
Like, just based on that description, he has multiple rings with gems on his fingers. People can wear multiple rings. That's fine. You can have a silver ring on one finger, you can have a gold ring on another finger, another silver ring, whatever. I don't care. As soon as you put gemstones on multiple rings and wear them at the same time, you are an asshole. That's literally it. You have crossed
But
that threshold.
Dave, look, it's a lot easier to carry a bunch of rings around than brass knuckles when you need to slap a bitch.
So get some brass rings. Get a roll of quarters. I don't give a shit. All right.
Good day, stranger.
When he sees you, he throws his arms wide in an expansive welcome. Greetings! You have come to the warehouse and headquarters of the Valiant Trading Company. He consults a pocket watch. Some of the gold filigree has chipped away. But you are late. I sent word to the expedition hall yesterday. The delivery cannot wait. Snaps it shut.
What's the delivery?
He tugs at his beard. I must assume, then, that you are not from the company I contacted at the expedition hall. But you are here and they are not. It is a bag of bitter squash seeds, which are prized for their medicinal properties. Few merchants in Defiance Bay deal in them, but those who do know their value.
Seems simple enough. Why ask me?
A frown distorts his meticulous goatee. My own couriers have been robbed and beaten these past weeks. It would seem that some of my competitors resent my success. In any case, you are not a known associate. You would be left alone, and if not, you look like you could handle yourself. And as for your integrity, I suppose I will just have to trust you, as you will have to trust my assurances that you won't find a buyer outside of my contact.
I'll do it.
Excellent. Now deliver this package to a man named Gareth at the Goose and Fox in Copper Lane. He will know what to do with it. Return to me when you are done, and I shall see to your payment.
Hail, traveler.
Deliver that package. No, business such as this is best concluded quickly.
Who is that feathered woman?
You must mean Palagina. She's a paladin in the employ of the Valiant Embassy. She's a good soldier, but not so good at taking orders. Too hot a temper, I'm afraid.
A paladin has too hot of a temper? So you are an asshole. She seemed angry.
That is no surprise. She's hot-headed. A woman in a brotherhood of paladins, and touched by the gods in such an unusual way. Something else I can help you with, or shall I return to my business?
Well, let's go deliver a package, I guess.
He ain't wrong, though. Palagina is an angry, angry woman.
Paladins tend to be either angry or really sedate. There's kind of no between. It's like, there is evil in the world and I must smite it. Or, there's evil in the world, I'm doing my best.
Yeah. Remember, though, Pillars paladins aren't necessarily lawful good.
It's true. Actually, I think one of the best things that 5e did was make it so that paladins don't have to be lawful good. They can just be
They don't
good.
have to be anything. They just be.
Yeah.
Like, every subclass has its own oath of, or rather, code of conduct.
Yeah. Copper Lane, accept. I don't know. I think I really like the concept of a paladin, but even in like 2nd edition, I felt it was too limiting. Especially 2nd edition, where it was like, you have to be lawful good, you have to do certain things,
Whatever happens,
you must
at least we're out
be...
of that mud hole, Gilded Vale. I grew up in Gilded Vale. Quaint. That's what I meant to call it. No, you had it right.
And in 2nd edition, paladins had to be human. It was just like, whoa, hold on. But I think first, basic and advanced and 2nd all had a lot of problems with that, so...
Yeah, so in the Paladin's original introduction, you were just a fighter with a bunch of extra features, but you had to be a human, and you had to, on 3d6, naturally in order, roll a 17 for charisma.
Yep.
And, be lawful good.
And that was before they did the roll 4, drop 1 rolling method, too.
3d6, and there was no buying abilities and none of that shit.
Actually, there was.
Dog it.
In AD&D, you could lower a score by 2 to increase another score by 1. It was an alternate roll. And it was terrible.
Yes. Right. A young boy watches the passersby and counts a grimy handful of coins. His face and arms are smudged with dirt, but except for the grass stains, his clothes are in good condition. As you approach, he blinks and makes a quick, furtive effort to pocket his coins. Hey, miss, want to know a secret? I know a real good secret. careful. I've traveled the continent, and the hardest bargains still come from my 7-year-old.
Right. I'm sure a squeaky-voiced kid knows some amazing things about this city.
No, I promise. It's a real good secret. I know this place where people hide things, really special things. If you help me, I promise I'll show you.
Help you with what?
The Crucible Knights have these daggers made out of March steel. It's the best steel around, except for Durgan steel, which doesn't count because no one makes it anymore.
Ah, it's the forgotten how to make this steel.
Anyway, this merchant over by the Expedition Hall, and he had a dagger made out of real March steel. He said he wouldn't sell it to me because I'm a kid, and kids don't know anything about daggers. But that's not true. I know lots about daggers. I know about the different kinds of steel. I know how the Crucible Knights make them in a forge. I know that the tip can pierce low-gauge scale armor. That's one... bleh, that one that's good and sharp and cut through bone. See, I know plenty about daggers, and I really, really want this one. If you just get it for me, I promise I'll never, ever, ever ask for anything again. Please, buy me a beer, old man. In Masuk, we begin field training our daughters with a hunting knife as soon as they can talk. Many can field dress a hare before their 10th birthday.
Damn.
I wouldn't trust this kid with a butter knife.
You can't have a dagger.
Damn.
You'll poke your eye out. Sounds reasonable. I'll get it for you. You're too young to play with knives. I'm sure your parents told you that or you wouldn't be asking me.
But if I'm going to be a real warrior, I have to start training young, just like the heroes in the stories. I just know I was a great warrior in a previous life. My mom even says I have an old soul.
Wait, I have a question. Kids have been born without souls for quite a while now, right?
Yeah.
What's this kid doing here?
Maybe he was born before that started.
I guess. Fine, I'll help you.
I knew a real adventurer would understand. There's a big merchant over by Admith's Den who sells weapons. He's the one with the dagger. I'll wait right here for you.
Also, fun fact, the idea of a special kind of steel originates from Southern Asia, where you had things such as Damascus steel, Wootz steel, and other kinds of steel that were markedly better than the stuff that you would get in Europe or even in Japan.
Better iron than in Japan is not hard to come by.
It's fucking true. But ultimately, when you see somebody talking about, oh, this steel is really good steel, like March steel or the other steel that he mentioned that I don't remember. Durgan steel. They're talking about Damascus steel. They're talking about Wootz steel. And Damascus steel was, for a long time, I believe, they forgot how to make it. Or it was lost, probably after Genghis Khan burned the Persian area. Or the Middle East, basically. It's like, oh, you guys won't bow down? Fuck you, and killed a shit ton of them. Because Genghis Khan, Genghis could.
Yep. Killed so many people that the earth cooled down.
Yep. He set back Middle East civilization by 600 years. Oh my god. Alright. So.
It's alright, they'll recover from feudalism eventually.
Next time on Character Select, we will continue our quest to get this kid to poke his eye out. That's probably what's going to happen. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to click that like button down below if you liked it. And Savin!
I'm sure giving children weapons will be just fine. He seems responsible.
Yeah, this isn't a deconstruction game or anything.
Yeah. I mean, if there's one thing Obsidian loves, it's definitely not dead children.